Well, I am an admirer of Elisa's. Elisa has even worked for me, and the fact is that she is talented.
What's it called? Kermit and Friends?
Kermit and Friends.
Kermit. But it's
Kermit.
You're saying
like
not to do.
Yeah,
Wait.
I actually have watched a few hours of Kermit and Friends.
How many hours have you watched, Natalie?
Oh, no. Probably indulged in 8 hours.
Holy.
My wife and I watched Benji's ex-girlfriends or whatever's going on. We watched this crazy podcast, and I have to say, this is one of the, probably in the top 5 things I think about right now.
She has a podcast, but she gets to come on the radio. It is craziness upon craziness.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kermit and Friends. I am Elisa. This is Fozzie, and Kermit is watching from heaven. We are going to have a fabulous show today. I think everybody's going to be impressed. We have amazing, incredible guests. So many guests that our backstage is full right now. So if my producers are watching, I hope they are. Andre Rellis, the movie director and producer, please help him because we are full of people. I don't know how the link got out, but it got out to a lot of people. Super excited. I hope everybody joins our Kermit and Friends Discord server where all the shenanigans happens. I've been kind of busy this week and I'm about to lose my job, and that's the truth. Right? And it's all due to you guys. Okay, it's true. Many great things come in my life through Kermit and Friends, and I just really appreciate that. Let's welcome to the show Wheezy, my co-host. Hey, Wheezy.
Hi. I hope that you are kidding about losing your job.
I'm very close. It's getting. I'm like right there, because I'm so distracted by all this. Kermit and Friends is growing. We're meeting new people. We have unbelievable guests. I'm just like distracted. There's so much drama going on.
Yes.
What do you think of what's happened this week? I missed a lot of it.
Oh my goodness. I would encourage anybody that's not part of our Discord to be part of our Discord. I mean,
Yes.
It's a full-time job. And if you miss 10 minutes, then you've missed so much content.
I know.
It's been pretty
you can't
dramatic.
miss. I don't want to miss like one message in there, but sometimes there's so many messages and there's things going on in like the voice area where it's not being recorded sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm so sad. I'm like, what did I miss? I have so much fear of missing out that I'm losing my other things in my life. They're getting smaller, a lot smaller. I haven't had like a deal like at my job in like a very long time,
No.
so it's like scary. They're not giving me leads. I'm like really bad in there. So we'll see what happens.
They watch the show too, right? Do you think they're punishing you a little bit?
Yes, I do think that. Yeah, I think the leads stopped coming my way once I got involved on the RV. I do.
Oh no, that's not good. You should be able to separate those two, I would hope. But
I know, and I heard that somebody like threatened to kill themselves in the
yes,
did that
somebody
happen?
did that. Okay,
Is
so
that
what somebody did was one of Kenneth's friends is always demanding attention, and he sent a message from his own account pretending it was his brother and said this person killed themselves, rest in peace, all this stuff, and it turned into
crying. I saw that
people were crying. And Kenneth was crying and Gidgey was crying, and it was a mess, and it turned into an all-day event, and it was insane. And I would say to anybody, don't make light of suicide. Don't pretend you kill yourself for attention.
Yeah,
It's
don't
horrible.
do that. You can get attention in other ways. Like this guy, I knew he was like no good, because he was threatening people. He was threatening my life.
He was.
Then he was threatening his own life. And I was thinking, he's not really like contributing to Kermit and Friends. Like I was going to block him and ban him.
Right.
But I didn't, because I said, if he's really wanting to kill himself, Kermit and Friends is a place that you should go to because you'll have a lot of friends around. And I think people like that shouldn't be alone. So I was like, I don't have to hang out with this guy, but I'm sure he can make some friends here. But just faking your own death, like, is very anti-Kermitarian.
Oh, it was horrible. And then it became the content for like, even Corey's on last night. That's what it was talked about. So I think that those people kind of get their way when they get that much attention back, and that he has no place in our community. But you do have an open door policy, which I do respect as well. So there's a balance,
Like someone's writing in the N-word right now in the chat. I just blocked that person, but don't do that because we have an excellent show. I don't want anybody to miss out on it. And do you know who our guests are today? Do you know who some
Not
of them
really.
are?
I've been kept in the dark about it, which is what I like usually. But but yeah, I'm excited to know who the Howard Stern guest or Howard Stern affiliated guest is.
Yes, we have a Howard Stern guest. We have an unbelievable writer. That's our first guest. Then we have a director who I don't even think can get in right now because we're so booked. So can you help Leaf get that producer? Because I'm going to pitch an idea. I'm going to pitch an idea to this movie producer about Kermit and Friends today.
Oh,
yeah. And this is this is a real movie producer that has films in the theaters all the time. Wow. And I had this idea, like Kermit and Friends in association with the new people we've met, to film it all as like a documentary or a movie or a reality show. And so I'm going to pitch that and show him some clips of us. And hopefully we'll get something out of it. And I've been friends with this guy for a long time. And he just did a movie with about, I guess, Ozzy Osbourne's band. And he has a lot of gossip around that. So we're going to learn about that too. But hopefully he'll be working with us. He offered to put my songs in his movies. So he's just a really great guy.
I can't wait. That's going to be amazing. Yeah.
So let's do some good networking today. Our first guest, this is an unbelievable guest, you guys. Brian J. Jones is the critically acclaimed, best-selling biographer of some of the world's most iconic creative geniuses. He's written biographies on Washington Irving, Dr. Seuss, George Lucas, and my personal favorite, Jim Henson. Okay. His book about Jim Henson was a New York Times bestseller and chosen as the best biography of 2013 by Goodreads, as well as one of the year's top 10 books by CNN viewers. Brian has spent more than 2 decades as a public policy analyst and speechwriter for elected officials at all levels of government, including 10 years in the U.S. Senate. Everybody, welcome to the show, Brian J. Jones. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. That's one of the best introductions I've ever gotten.
Really? Well, you've been interviewed a lot. I've been watching your interviews, and I saw you in a lot of big shows. You've written unbelievable books. I have one of your books right here. I don't know if you know this or if you could tell, but I'm a huge Muppet fan. I'm a huge Muppet fan, so I'm so thrilled to just meet you. Okay. And this is so great. So you do a lot of podcasts and interviews about your books?
Yeah, I get asked. With Jim Henson, you can't go wrong. So I was thrilled to be asked to be on your show because I know you're a big fan too. So no, it's one of those things I don't even have to study in advance for it.
Exactly. So are you like a huge Muppet fan? Is that why you wrote that?
No, I was sort of Muppet Generation 1.0 in a way, because I was 2 when Sesame Street came on the air and I was 9 when the Muppet Show came on. So like Gen X is kind of the generation that always had the Muppets. I mean, there was Rolf in the 60s and so on, but I was just, I've been a fan from day one. And when I was in high school, there was a book that came out called Of Muppets and Men. That was kind of all about the making of the Muppet Show. And I used to just read that book constantly. And I never imagined that, 25 years later, I would be Jim Henson's biographer. I mean, it'll probably be the first words of my epitaph. And that's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah. I mean, you've gotten so much notoriety from all these books. Is that something that you enjoy? Like people, you must have a lot of fans, I would think.
I don't know that for a fact. I mean, on Twitter, for example, Muppet fans are among just the coolest fans there are on Twitter. Like I've written a book about George Lucas, and Star Wars fans can get like siloed off, and they can get, they like to argue about sort of like Muppet fans are very even keel, Very, very kind. I mean, they're a great group of fans. So the Muppet fans are awesome fans.
So there's no like Muppet fans trolls that are trolling you?
Not really. No. And they feel very passionate about both Jim and the Muppets, so it's a great place to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm passionate about the Muppets. Muppets Take Manhattan is my favorite movie.
Mine too. It's sort of the unappreciated one. Like I really wish I liked Great Muppet Caper better, because that's the one that Jim Henson directed of the 3 that came out in his lifetime. But I think Muppets Take Manhattan is just so funny, and I think a lot of that is probably due to the fact it's a Frank Oz film. It's sort of the underdog when we start talking about Muppet movies. It usually places in the top 5, but not a lot of people put it at number 1.
Well, that movie really inspired me because, they're putting together this like Broadway production. They don't have any connections. They don't come from anywhere great. They're just like people with a dream, these little Muppets with a dream. And then they can't figure out what's missing from their show. Like, why is this not getting to Broadway? And then they decide like, oh, we need like more crazy people. We need more like frogs and dogs and chickens, and just include everybody in the show. And so that inspired me here, because I just include everybody. I have kind of like an open door policy. So anybody that wants to be on my show, I let them on my show. And I was really inspired by that movie.
Yeah, the dogs and frogs and chickens for sure.
Yeah, everybody. So, okay. So I got some questions that were written in here.
Okay.
So when you're writing a book about somebody, like how long does it take you to properly research that person? What is the process of writing a book like?
So for me, it generally takes me about 3 to 5 years per book. The Henson book took quite a while because first I had to convince the family to let me have access to their archives. Because Jim's not one of these people whose papers are held at like the University of Maryland or the University of Connecticut. They're all privately held in the archives. So it was one of those books that I didn't think you could do right unless you had his archives, because Jim wasn't one of these guys that sat for a lot of interviews, even during his lifetime.
So why is that? Was he like a private guy? Like, what was it that he didn't want to do interviews?
He didn't talk a lot. He didn't speak on the record a lot. A lot of times in his early days, he and his wife Jane would do interviews, and Jane did all the talking. So Jim was just one of these guys that didn't talk, or he did a lot of press junks things, but there weren't a lot of like big published interviews. In the archives, there's a lot of transcripts of times when he was live on TV, things like that. So that's why I really needed those archives. So
how do you convince that family? How do you convince them that you're the guy?
Well, so I mean, there was a widow and 5 children. And everybody's got an agenda, and everybody has their angle, and everybody has the thing that they want to be sure is covered. So thank God my background for 15 years before that was I'd worked in politics, and there was a lot of politicking going on, a lot of discussions going on. What finally I think broke it open for me is at the time I was working on that book, I lived in Maryland, and I lived in the county one over from where Jim Henson grew up, at the University of Maryland. Mm-hmm. And when you live in the DC area, it's great that, especially at this time, the Library of Congress is one of your local libraries. So I went down to the Library of Congress and I pulled every article I could find on Jim when he first got into television when he was in high school. And there were just great interviews with people talking about what a genius he was. And it was his TV show, Sam and Friends. And so I did a little bit of research on the history of television and children's television. And I just wrote a sample chapter on Jim Henson in the early days of television. And I sent it into the family and said, this is the way I would do this. I want Jim to tell the story. I want to get out of the way. And I sent that into them, and they really, that was the moment I think that broke it up, and they really understood how I wanted to approach this. Because I think they'd been approached by a lot of people. Well, I found out later, a lot of people, including some really big hitters, had approached them about doing it, and they told everybody no. So I'm doubly flattered that they said
liked you the best. And were you as established then?
No, I'd only written the biography of Washington Irving at that point. And what was really fun, actually, is Lisa Henson, who's a brilliant film producer. When I went to meet her, she had it on her desk, and their publicist was asking about it, that book. And she said, well, that book's like kind of what it's like to be a rock star in the 1800s. And I was like, that's exactly the way I pitched that book. Like, I mean, she got it right away. So I think she sort of knew where I was coming from. She's really smart.
Yeah. So you're meeting very like high level people. Do you ever get nervous meeting people like that? Like producers, directors?
The one I was most nervous about meeting was Frank Oz, because if you go online, I can't remember who he's talking to. It's in England. And the guy asks a question that doesn't have a factual basis behind it, and Oz tells him right to his face that his research sucks. So I didn't want to be that guy. So Frank Oz was the one that I really wanted to go in really, really well prepared for. And it was lovely. I mean, I met him in his apartment, and we walked around the corner to a diner that he liked to go to for breakfast, and we sat there and had breakfast for 4.5 hours. He would not let me record him because, as he told me, he didn't want to do it up on the fucking internet.
Yeah, and
so I just had to handwrite like crazy, to try to get it all down.
Wow. So these people are protective. The family members are protective. You have to go in there and kind of like, I can't imagine how you would go in there wanting something from them. But what do they want? What do the family members want?
Well, I mean, I think they wanted something that was fair, because I think they'd been burned in the past on this. But
people,
again, as I was saying, everybody had an agenda. Like Cheryl is the second oldest daughter, is very much about Sesame Street. And Heather, the youngest, is sort of about the beautiful puppetry. A lot of the stuff you see in the Dark Crystal and that sort of beautiful puppetry. Brian is very much the wacky Jim, like the Muppet Show, and let's blow stuff up and let Muppets eat each other. So they all came at their father's story from a different angle, and they all knew him at different times. And some had worked with him, and some had not. So I think it was mostly just getting all that information and trying to compress it into a story that they all felt was fair. Now, let me just add, it wasn't an authorized biography in the sense that if there was something they didn't like, they could stop it. But I told them.
Wait a second. So they don't go through the whole book to make sure that they're happy?
No, I mean, there was no way I was not going to include it. So I sent them the very first draft and said, please read through this. And if there's anything wrong, please let me know so I can fix it. And it turned out it was a good thing I had made a major chronological error. So they all jumped on that, and I was able to fix that. And I think that was just showing them that in good faith, I was going to fix everything. But, the hardest part of Jim's story is, if you've read the book, Jim was never really faithful to his wife.
And Jim Henson?
Yeah. And everybody knew, I mean, the first person who told me that was his widow. So everybody,
what did she say? This guy was like a player, Jim Henson?
Yeah. Yeah. He really was. And but Jane was the first one who told me. I sat down with Jane one of the first stations. She said, so have you talked to Marianne? And I said, I don't actually know who that is. And she said, oh, you don't know who Marianne is? Interesting. Well, that was Jim's first sort of hardcore girlfriend after he and Jane were getting separated. So but the nice thing about that is, like, once the family was willing to talk about that, everybody I talked to immediately said, were you going to write about the women? Are there going to be stories about the women? Everybody had So the part is, when I submitted the draft to the Hensons, everybody, it was information they all knew. But this was the first time, I think, that this stranger was telling them these stories in third person back to them, which I know had to be very hard for them. And to their credit, they never blinked at that.
It's just unbelievable to me that a guy that created a bunch of Muppets is also a cheater.
Well, and from, moment one, I even asked Jane about when he was in high school, and I said, wasn't he? Everybody said he was shy, and she goes, shy like a fox. I mean, she had no second thoughts about that.
But they stayed together, or did you say they stayed together even though
they stayed together? They stayed together the entire time. I mean, I think what really attracted Jim Henson to Jane was talent. I mean, more than anything else, Jim Henson was drawn to talent, and Jane was hugely talented. That's the reason he chose her as his first professional partner.
So what did Jane do? What did he admire about her?
So Jane was 3 years older than him. They were at the University of Maryland together. They were in a puppetry class. She was a senior. He was a freshman.
Okay.
And he was very impressed at her ability to perform and build. And when he got asked to do his own television show at NBC in Washington, D.C., again, he's, I think at that point, a junior or senior or he's a freshman in college. He invites Jane to be his partner, to perform with him on television. I mean,
Wow.
His only other really hardcore performing partner was Frank Oz. So Jane was really, really talented. I think that's what drew him to her. If you go online anywhere and look for "I've Grown Accustomed to Your Face," go to YouTube, type that in, "I've Grown Accustomed to Your Face," Jack Parr, something like that. You'll get like a performance from the early Tonight Show in the late 50s. And that's Jim and Jane performing together. And Jane's performance is just so funny. I mean, she has great timing. She's the one who sat Frank Oz, 19-year-old Frank Oz, in front of a mirror when Jim first hired her and showed him the nuances of lip syncing. So this is the person who taught arguably the greatest puppeteer in the world how to lip sync effectively.
That's incredible. Okay, I have a Muppet calling in right now. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hey, Lisa, it's Gonzo.
Hey, Gonzo.
I have a question for Brian.
Yes, what's your question?
I'm actually myself, I'm working on a biography. I've been told to do this, but I'm actually working on a biography of Barry Measy. And in my research that I've been doing about Barry, it turns out he's full of shit about every single thing that he's said. So the biography is not really going to be that great. I just want to know has Brian ever run into that problem where?
Oh, with like one of the people he wrote about, like, are they? All right, that's a good question. Thank you, Gonzo. That's Gonzo.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you do in biography, it's sort of like even in politics, it's trust but verify. So if someone you think is full of shit, you start asking other people the same questions about that and see if they give you the same answer or see if they give you a different answer. For example, with Jim Henson, when I started the book, everyone said, you got to find out about the drugs. Jim Henson had to be on drugs. We watched Saturday Night Live and his performances there. They all had to be on drugs. And so I would ask everybody, was Jim on drugs or the drug story? And everyone said, no, I mean, I saw him, a little. Jerry Nelson, the guy who performs, like the Count on such, he said maybe a little grass, but I never really saw him do drugs. Well, it turned out I read in the archives a reported conversation that Jim had done LSD.
Really?
And so
just one time, or
it was a reported story. So I thought, well, that's a great story. Let's see if I can verify that. So I knew about the time frame, so I knew who was working for Jim at that time, and I asked Frank Oz about it. And Frank Oz said, oh, yeah, I remember that, and told me the story. So I filed that away. Then I met with Jerry Nelson, who also worked for Jim at that time. I told him the story, what I'd heard, and Jerry said, oh, yeah, I remember that, and started telling me the story, and the stories line up. And that is the kind of stuff you love as a biographer. Now, when they don't, you've got to figure out who's got the agenda. What's really going on? I ran into a lot of that when I was writing about George Lucas, because there's a lot of mythology about the creation of Star Wars and so on. And I talked with Gary Kurtz, who had been sort of fired by Lucas, and he really wanted to talk, but you understand going into it, he's got an agenda. So you just have to know that sort of thing going into it.
And I know I heard an interview with you where you said you really want to write a book about Ringo Starr.
He told me no already.
So he said no. Is he kind of like a jerk? I've heard that from many people.
I've heard various things. I don't know. I mean, it's fascinating me because he's the one Beatle who really hasn't been done.
So why? But why do you think people look at him as like the worst Beatle and he's like insecure?
I mean, who was it? I can't remember if it was Bill Maher. Somebody said, the Beatles are great because, John is the brain and Paul is the heart and George is the soul and Ringo's the drummer. I mean,
I know the drummer really, like, I feel bad for drummers. I was in a band and the drummer is always the forgotten person. So you just like want to keep trying that. I feel like you should keep trying. Just give this guy finally, his spotlight.
I mean, what Ringo has said is nobody cares about anything apart from those 8 years, which I don't think is true.
You mean other than like when they were? He doesn't think people care about him. This guy is insecure.
Yeah,
Ringo is insecure.
I think he's fascinating.
He is.
I made a run at him and he told me no. So.
Well, I hope you keep trying because I feel like that could be great and people would want to read that. Ringo, if you're watching, people care about you too, okay?
Absolutely. Peace and love, Ringo.
Peace and love. All right, so people want to reach out to you. If they want to learn more about you, how do they find you, Brian?
I am constantly running my mouth over on Twitter. My handle is Brian J. Jones, spell out J, J-A-Y, and then you'll find me over there. I'm one of the dreaded blue checks over on Twitter. So come find me.
He's verified and everything. Everybody follow this guy. Look how nice. You're so humble, by the way.
Oh,
that's rare. So rare. And we appreciate that here on Kermit and Friends. Do you like the show? What do you think of our show?
I love the show, and I love the personalities on the show. It's very, you can tell that it's the Howard Stern DNA, sort of like you get it's Mad Magazine and the usual gang of misfits, as they always said. So,
we're we're all misfits, not.
So I love that.
Yeah. We're a bunch of Muppets here, but anyway, thank you for joining us. Please keep in touch. Stick around if you want. Now, all right. So we have Brian J. Jones. Hopefully he'll stay, but I have a friend of mine here. Who's a movie director. He's muted right now. Just unmute yourself, Andre, because I see you're muted. So this guy named Andre, who I'm friends with, I've been in touch with him for a while. He's a Hollywood movie producer and director. He's produced such films as Wander, starring Aaron Eckhart and Tommy Lee Jones, The Last Son, starring Sam Worthington and Machine Gun Kelly, who I love, Outlaws and Angels with Chad Michael Murray, Luke Wilson. He's directed 2 documentaries, which are NWA and Eazy-E, Kings of Compton, and now Randy Rhoads, Reflections of a Guitar Icon. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Everybody welcome Andre Rellis.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Nothing like a transition from Jim Henson to Randy Rhoads.
Yeah, this is a great transition. So we spoke about this movie. We went to dinner at, where did we go? We went
to some place in West Hollywood, some bar, or I don't really recall what it was, but we did talk about this.
Yeah, so this was like a year ago. You were telling me you were doing this movie about Ozzy Osbourne's guitarist.
Yep.
And it's hard to become what you've become. Like, everybody wants to be a movie producer in Hollywood. It's hard to become that. You've succeeded. You have so many movies, but this movie was especially difficult for you. Why was that?
Well, first of all, it's a documentary. So it is a documentary feature, but it's not like a live action movie, but it's a documentary about the true story of Randy Rhoads, who was the guitarist originally for Quiet Riot, who then became Ozzy's first guitarist when he became solo. And he was on Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. I mean, Randy Rhoads is like a legend. When I was a musician before I transitioned into filmmaking, and I always thought of him as just this incredible icon, but very mysterious. And I never really understood why there wasn't much on Randy Rhoads. Like, if you look and you Google, there's no other documentaries out there. So as I started getting more into producing this documentary and directing it, I realized the reason why is because the Osbournes really don't want it out there.
Okay, so the Osbournes don't want a documentary about the guitarist of the band. Like, why would they not want that out there?
You know, to be honest, at first I couldn't really understand it at all, because I realized through making this documentary that there was 2 other documentaries that were supposed to come out. One in like 2009, 2010, that was a much bigger budgeted version of what I was doing, and they squashed it. They wouldn't allow any of the original music. And I think there's some weird stuff going on with Sharon, the Osbournes, and the legacy of Randy Rhoads. I think they feel like they own it. And I think there's another reason. I mean, Randy Rhoads was an amazing guitarist, but he was also with Ozzy right when Ozzy got fired from Black Sabbath and transitioned into his own career as Ozzy Osbourne. And I think that, I mean, I have various theories. Those are just my theories. Are, one, I don't think they want to take away. They want Ozzy's legacy to look like he did it on his own. And I think Randy Rhoads was a huge impact on him becoming a successful artist on his own. And I feel like they want to keep the spotlight on Ozzy. Two, Sharon Osbourne had an affair with Randy Rhoads while she was with alleged affair with Randy Rhoads while she was with Ozzy. And I don't think a lot of people know that.
So do you think that Sharon Osbourne doesn't want this documentary to be made because she doesn't want to be in it as cheating on Ozzy Osbourne with Randy Rhoads?
I don't know. I mean, all I can tell you is when I decided to do this documentary, my office got a call from Sharon Osbourne, and I had a French girl working with me who picked up the phone. Okay. And so Sharon calls and is obviously very aggressive and says, "I want to speak to Andre Reles." And the girl had no idea who Sharon Osbourne was, because she's just like, Andre's in a meeting, he can't take your call. Okay. And she was like, "I'm Sharon Osbourne. I must speak with Andre." A horrible accent. But anyways, she wouldn't put her on the phone. I eventually got Sharon Osbourne's phone number, and we started texting back and forth. And Sharon was just absolutely horrible to me. She had never met me. She didn't know what my plan was as far as how I was going to cover the documentary. But she basically threatened to sue me, and she told me to fuck off.
Wow. Okay. So I would wonder why she couldn't just like watch your documentary and just say like, okay, take that part out.
Well, I think that she was worried what I was going to cover about Ozzy. I don't know. You know, I can understand from the perspective of somebody who has a documentary being done on them as to what they don't know you're going to cover. And that, you know, the anxiety of not knowing it, but I offered to have them involved. She turned the Randy Rhoads family against me and said that I had contacted her and was really abusive. So, I mean, I don't really know what happened there, but it was a bad scene. And, you know, I was kind of scared, not to lie. Like, she was threatening lawsuits against me. And I, at one moment, was like, Jesus, should I go through with this? But I'm a huge fan of music. Randy Rhoads. I listen. All I do is I read biographies about bands all the time, and so I was like, look, it's not fair that this isn't out there, and I'm just gonna stick with it. So it's out, and I think it turned out pretty damn good.
So you're proud of it, and you're safe. She hasn't done anything to you. You're not scared.
I mean, yes, I'm very proud of it. Now, that being said, there was an existing documentary on Randy Rhoads. He was the original guitarist for Quiet Riot, which was one of the first metal bands in LA. And so he spent many years in Quiet Riot before he transitioned into Ozzy. So there's a director, filmmaker, Ron Sobel, who had originally put together a documentary about Randy Rhoads in the Quiet Riot era. I really wanted to, and he never could release it. He was worried about legal stuff too. He released it on DVD, but never really released it. So he came to me. I took that piece and I built upon it all kinds of new stuff. And I really wanted to focus more on the transition to Ozzy's years. And I think we did a great job for what we had, but no one would license me any material. You find out that the Osbournes own all the footage from the era of Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz. So I had to come up with really creative ways to get it done.
Wow. And so you did this, even though there were so many challenges. It must feel so great to be able to get past those challenges, because when there's someone really big like that, I mean, she is extremely successful, Sharon Osbourne, and it's just such a big force to get past. That happened to me before because I got into a fight with Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh,
Really bad fight with Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, he used to love my show and talk about my show all the time and say how great it was, how his wife loved it. And then he went after me because of some decisions I made on the show. Like, he was against the way I was treating certain people and everything. So I called into the Howard Stern show to defend myself. And then he just hated me after that. Yeah. And he would email Stuttering John about me, mean emails. And it was scary. It was scary, going against somebody with their own show that's so successful. You just feel scared.
Also with a lot of money, because she had lawyers contacting me, threatening me with these bogus lawsuits that really had no bearing. Because as a filmmaker, you have the right to make a documentary on anybody you want. It's First Amendment right.
No matter what, right? No matter what, there's no rules about that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just make stuff up. You have to, I guess you could if you cover yourself right, but you have to be careful that you're telling the truth. But if you're telling a story that actually happened, you absolutely have the right to do that. And that really pissed me off that she was challenging me on that.
Yeah, I'm really sorry you went through that, but you should feel very happy and relieved now, right? You're making incredible movies and people love them, and you're so successful. Any advice to people out there that want to be a movie producer in Hollywood?
Yeah, I do actually. So I started off from the very bottom. I transitioned from a musician in a punk band into the filmmaking business. And the way in which I did it was I started off at the very bottom. So one thing is, if you want to become a film producer and get in this business and you don't have a lot of experience or contacts, you have to be willing to start off at the very bottom. I started off as a production assistant, which is the most, starting position within a film or television series, and then work my way up. So you have to be ready to really not get paid a lot and deal with a lot of attitudes and just stay with it. And as you're in that situation, whether you're filming a television show or movie, get to know people, and eventually you'll slowly work up the ranks. But what drives me crazy is when people want to be producers or get in the film business and just feel like it's owed to them and don't want to do the hard work. Get ready to do the hard work. Get ready to do some really bad jobs where you're not going to get paid for a while. And eventually you'll get there if you're persistent, because I did.
Exactly. And you have to go through pain, right? There's a lot of pain involved.
Yeah, being broke. I started off working at Trauma. Trauma Entertainment did
I love that guy. That guy's so nice. What's his name again?
Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah, Lloyd Kaufman. Yeah, nice guy.
I had a lot of strange experiences with that dude. Really like him. But you get paid peanuts over there. But It's a great boot camp for getting in the business. And I'd never go back on that. But I was living off Taco Bell at that time. So you just have to be ready to be broke and deal with it. Just as any position in a job, it's you have to be willing to put in the long hours and not get the big payday for a long time.
Yeah, a long time. So everybody be patient. Whatever you're doing right now, like whatever you're trying to accomplish, it is not like a short overnight thing. It may look like that. Like when you see somebody like Andre, you're like, oh, wow, it's quick. It's not quick. There's a lot of pain involved. There's a lot of time involved. He has to go through a lot of shit with people like Sharon Osbourne, right? And there's a lot of bad stuff.
Oh, that's just the icing on the cake. The abuse I deal with particular actors.
Really? Are they worse than Sharon?
Well, physical altercations on set with some pretty big talent and big threats and nasty stuff. Yeah, it can be worse, but the thing that really pissed me off about Sharon is she didn't know me at all personally, and she was just so abusive to me. I just couldn't believe it. The text message she sent me, I mean, I couldn't believe that she was putting her name out there on these text messages telling me to fuck off. So yeah, there's a lot of nastiness you deal with, but I mean, at the end of the day, I love what I do, and that's what matters. And yeah, people think I'm just some stoner dude who just kind of fell into this business. It didn't happen that way. I put in a lot of work.
Yes, you did. We're proud of you here, and we appreciate you for being so nice. Anything that you want to promote?
Yes, I'd love you to please. Randy Rhoads' Reflections of a Guitar Icon are out. The movie's out. It's on Amazon, Vudu, all the digital platforms, in demand, et cetera, et cetera. Check it out. I think we did a hell of a good job for what we were working with. And secondary, I'm working on a Jim Morrison project that I will.
Really? A Jim Morrison project?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy because I'm friend. I don't know if you know this guy, but a couple of weeks ago I interviewed Jim Morrison's brother-in-law. Yeah, and he wrote a book about Jim Morrison and Patricia.
Wow, I'd like to talk to this individual.
No problem, because I'm kind of trying to get rid of him right now. So yeah, that's perfect. Well, he can start calling you. He's an over talker. Oh, here's Andy. Oh, wait, hold on one second. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hi, it's Andy, your fiance.
Hey, sweetheart.
I wanted to know if you wanted me to call in today for the show.
Yeah, come on. I'm about to have Chicken Andy on. Chicken Andy's next. And I'm talking to a very big movie producer right now.
Should I stay on this line or should I call another line?
Go in the link. I'm sure somebody sent you the link, one of my producers.
No one did. Can you send it to me?
Okay. All right. Love you. Okay, somebody send Andy Dick the link to Kermit and Friends so we can. So I'm dating. Did you know I'm still engaged to Andy Dick?
What the hell? No.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's been like 2 years now, but he's in love with someone else and he's very vocal about it. And the guy is here today.
But last time we spoke, you said that it was not happening. So I don't understand.
All right, so I'll tell you exactly what's happening. So Andy got into a really big fight in Vegas where he got knocked out and he was bleeding everywhere, right?
No.
And I felt bad. I didn't want to go there and help him out. So I sent my friend Wappy to pick him up and put him in his house. So Andy's in this guy's Wappy's house. He gets kidnapped from another guy. Another guy comes in there, kidnaps Andy, puts him in an RV. He's been living in an RV for the last 3 months. And through the RVs, he met this guy named Chicken. And now he's obsessed with this guy, Chicken. And Chicken's coming into town next week. I'm going to meet him. He's on the show today. And Andy's in love with him. So I have to figure out, where I am in this relationship. Is this going to be like a 3-way relationship? The guy's only 22 years old. I don't think I should.
Wait a minute. I don't really understand this. So you're engaged to Andy Dick, but he's in love with somebody else.
Yeah, Chicken. His name's Chicken. Yeah.
He's engaged to Chicken. Now, I got to give a lot of props to Andy. He's a very talented actor. I was just watching a movie called Freaky Deaky, which is a movie he did, and I'm considering doing a movie with the director. So I was impressed with his work on that. But that's a weird situation you're in, Elisa.
Yeah, it hasn't been that great, to be honest with you, because he's been living in these RVs, and they're right around the corner from my place. So I've been my job is going so bad. I'm so distracted.
Really?
They're live streaming Andy 24 hours a day. And so I watch him, even from my office, I'm watching him, what he's doing. And it's very distracting that I'm watching Andy go grocery shopping. I'm watching Andy scream about me. I'm watching Andy gush about Chicken. And now it's I love Andy. He's so sweet and kind and just a wonderful guy. And obviously he's such a big talent. But I mean, he's in love with this guy Chicken, and I don't know if Chicken loves him. I'm gonna ask Chicken today, but it's just a really fucked up situation. And then
So why do you want to be engaged to some dude that's in love with someone else? I don't understand.
Well, I'm also not perfect in this, Andre. I'm also kind of like dating his kidnapper.
What the
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say, but it's really interesting because when I first met you, I didn't grasp that you have such an open mind. I kind of considered you a little bit more, I don't know, I just felt like you were a little bit more uptight. I didn't expect these things to come out with your personal life.
Yeah, a lot of people were surprised like about my engagement, but Andy is so sensitive and he's so sweet, and he's just like, I don't know, there's something about him that is just so like vulnerable. He's loving. He proposed to me a week in, and he really sees me. You know, when somebody just like really sees you for like, you know, he sees me better than other guys see me. Like a lot of guys are, not everybody, but a lot of them are very superficial.
Oh
Andy,
yeah, a lot of girls are too.
yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. But you know, they're superficial, like, you know, they're all about looks and sex. And Andy, we never even had sex, not even once. We never even hooked up.
Okay, I get the whole attraction, liking him, but why engaged?
Because I could imagine myself when I'm 90 years old talking to Andy on, you know, a rocking chair. I mean, he's probably going to be dead, right? But if he was alive, I can imagine talking to him forever. I can talk to Andy forever and never get bored. And he's just the best conversationalist. He's the funniest person. And I want to be entertained. I don't want to have to date a guy where I have to keep up the conversation and I have to be the entertainer. I just want to chill. Andy is the most fun guy to chill with on earth. He really is. And that's important to me. That's my like number one thing is I want somebody where we have a connection like mentally. And Andy, he sees me. He sees exactly what I'm about. And he saw me immediately.
Well, to each their own, Elisa. That's all I can say to that.
Yeah. Thanks. What about you? What do you look for? Just curious.
You know, I mean, the same thing. Like we're in a city full of a lot of fake personalities, and it's not an easy place to date. So I get that. But you know, I got divorced a couple of years back, so I'm just kind of chilling right now.
Yeah, you're chilling. That's what I should be doing. I should be chilling. I should not be like going crazy like I am, but you know, I think I am in like kind of like a midlife crisis right now. and I might be dating a 22-year-old this week, depending on how the interview goes today. We'll see.
So you're down with open relationships, more or less.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But I just like, maybe God saw me and God was like, okay, I'm going to like throw you a bone here. You've been like screwed over so many times. Andre, so many guys have screwed me over. I deserve this. Yeah.
Have they?
Yeah.
I didn't know all of this stuff about you, but I just think that this whole Andy Dick thing is a little trippy. I mean, I'm not going to lie, like being with him, being in a relationship with him, that's fine, I guess. But being engaged to somebody who loves somebody else just seems to me like you're selling yourself short. That's my opinion.
Okay. That is good advice. That is like what a normal person would say. Like I'm like insane, right? I don't know if you knew that about me, but I'm a little insane. So
Are you?
yeah, I think so.
Together.
Really?
I mean, we're all crazy to a point, but I mean, I couldn't catch that when I met you. You seem like you're pretty put together.
Oh, thank you. You're the best. I'm so glad we know each other.
Me too.
All right. Well, congratulations on all your success. Keep in touch, and everybody check out Andre's new movie. It's going to be incredible, like all his movies are. Everybody, actually, I just need to take a little breather before I bring on Chicken because I'm actually nervous about this Chicken guy. Charmin, help, please.
I mean, I don't even know where to begin. What are we gonna? Is Chicken who you're gonna be dating next week? Is it gonna be like a threesome with you and Andy? What do you want?
Well, I mean, Charmin, I gotta be honest with you. I like what's happening right now more than any other time in my life.
Well, I want you to lean into that. As long as everybody's consenting, everybody's having fun, I support it.
That's what I thought you'd say. You know, I really. I mean, imagine, you know, you're engaged to somebody, right, who's very fun, but then he comes along with all these other people and they're fun too.
Well, and when he gets tired of them, he gets rid of them and he just gets another one.
It's unbelievable.
You will never be bored again as long as you live.
And I just really feel like God loves me right now. Like God saw me. He's like, wow, that's fucked up what she's been through. Let me do something nice for her, like a couple nice things. And now, I mean, it is very nice. I'm not going to lie. It is nice what's going on with me right now. I am not complaining. People are upset. Leaf King's upset. Many people are upset, but I'm happy. So I'm just going to go with the flow. And I always think that just go with the flow, Charmin.
I support it.
All right, you support it?
I support it. Swing for the fences. Be happy as long as you're happy. All the boys that are in love with you are going to be mad because they're not getting the opportunity that Chicken and Andy have. They're jealous. They're going to stay jealous. They're going to get mad every time anything happens.
Yeah.
Are you happy? Are you happy? Are you chasing your dream? Do you feel like it's all working out and great things are ahead of you? I want you to chase that feeling.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense because I think that way too. But then like people are very against my recent behavior, like, you know, because it's being filmed and stuff. So they're watching it and they're saying, oh, Lisa, like I think I was called like a dirty whore the other day, but I don't know why I was called that because I'm not actually sleeping with these people. I'm just like having fun, like going out, like I'm kissing, you know, some people. But I mean, I have never done this. I've always been the one losing. I've been always a loser in the relationship. People cheated on me. People fucked me over. I've been crying. I've had to go to therapy because of guys. So why can't I turn the tables a little bit and have fun and they go to therapy over me?
I mean, that sounds like a goal to me. I think you're on. I think you're onto something, Elisa. And I think this is definitely a movie-worthy program. Your life, the stories that get connected, the way people open their mind and open their hearts, and the experiences we're all having. We're all living vicariously through you. We've been talking for months about rosters and how important it is not to put up with bad behavior. And you like the way Andy treats you, and you know, people are open and having open relationships. And this is something people need to talk about. As long as you guys are being safe and everybody wants to participate and they know what the deal is and nobody's getting hurt, I support it. Let's watch a movie about it.
Okay, and that was somebody that ran for president that just said that, guys. Charmin ran for president and she's giving me advice, so I'm going to take her advice and obviously not stop this whole scenario that's going on.
Go have fun. Go have fun.
She's so right. Okay, let's enjoy a song that I wrote, and then I'm going to bring up Chicken Andy.
Hey Lisa Jordana, I give you my heart. I know it means nothing, but it's a good start.
And I don't know if I can trust you just yet. I don't want to end up crying online like Manette. And why do we have to be friends, just friends? And why do we have to be friends, just friends? It's better this way. Love always ends.
Lisa Jordana, please come close to me. Forever together, let me set you free.
I know I'm scared because it's new. Don't want to have to elbow you in the face like I'm Gucci. Why do we have to be friends, just friends? And why do we have to be friends, just friends? It's better this way. Love always ends. And why do we have to be friends, just friends? And why do we have to be friends, just friends? Why do we have to be friends, just friends? And why do we have to be friends, just friends?
Hi, Chicken.
Hello.
Welcome to Kermit and Friends.
Hey. Hi, everybody. I'm Chicken.
Chicken is here. We're very excited. I got a lot of fan questions for you. Okay. Let's just start simply. Okay, Chicken, what made you want to start streaming your life?
Oh my God, we're going right into it. I wanted to talk about that song. That song was so it was such a beautiful song.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I wrote that I was with Lala And Captain Content, we were at Lowe's in Santa Monica, and he was having a hard time like expressing himself. So I
You
said,
wrote
"Why
that
don't
in a
you?"
Lowe's parking lot?
A Lowe's.
Who's paying for the studio? Who paid for the studio for that one? Sounded pretty good.
we did it in my apartment. No, first we wrote a poem together, and then we made it into a song just in my apartment, and we recorded it. And actually, Wappy's gonna do a remix to it, so I'm excited about that. But I like the song. You like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I'm curious about this Wappy's guy parody. I wonder if he's gonna take out the word friends and put something else.
Why you don't like just being like friends? Like, don't you like a lot of Friends
No,
chicken?
I love Friends. Friends, I think, is the greatest superpower. If your superpower is everyone's your best friend, you're gonna achieve everything in life. Like that'd be my superpower.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, it's like connections with people. Like you shouldn't burn bridges, right? You need to have connections with people. People is everything. Like you need to love people. People need to love you, or else they're not going to want to help you.
Absolutely, I totally agree with this.
Like you've been helped by a lot of people, right? In your career. The person that named you, that person helped you. Who was that?
Ice Poseidon.
So he named you Chicken Andy. That's how you got your name. Why? So were you very close with that guy that he named you?
I was like chat. I was close in a sense where I felt like I knew the guy, and when I got to meet him, he gave me a chicken, and then I never saw the guy again. Pretty much.
Why didn't you ever see him again?
He was just better than me, you know.
Better than you?
You're in the show. You're in it now.
Hi, JJ.
They're just watching right now. Let's just chat us, so then I'm going to bring Andy on. Look, everybody's there. So,
hi, Captain.
Everybody's saying hi. Okay.
I thought Captain was in therapy right now.
What do you mean?
Oh, I was reading chat, and they were telling me how Cappy's in therapy, and you know, he's like distraughted over this interview. I'm not sure. I was just reading into chat. Someone was telling me.
Yeah, don't worry about what chat is saying. Just, you know, this is a happy atmosphere. I try to make it a happy atmosphere.
Of course.
You know, I want you to feel welcome here. I really liked you. Like when we spoke on the phone that time, it was like a really long conversation. And for being so young, you have a great personality, in my opinion. So I can imagine that you would have like a lot of people watching you.
Thank you.
Is that what draws you to like streaming your life? Is like the people that you meet, or what do you like about that?
You know, I'm just the best. I'm the best streamer out there. Everyone already knows. Been doing this. I'm grade A. You know, honestly, S tier streamer. Everyone just watches me, not because maybe my content's the best, but because I'm the best. 100%.
You're the best like person in the world, just as a person.
No, not as a person. I digress every day. I'm very humble about, you know, not being the best human, but I'm the best streamer. So
okay. So you think you're the best at what you're doing? Okay, that's fine. I think I'm the best at what I'm doing too. Okay, yeah, so according to Andy, Andy made you ejaculate 9 times.
We could go with 9. I would like to honestly. That's the benefit of the doubt. Honestly, maybe like 19. We could rack them numbers up all day.
Wow, that's like a lot.
I was only with them for 5 days, so honestly, like I'm trying to break a world record.
That's not true. That's not
Let's
true.
break world records out here, Andy Dick.
Buddy, we were together for months, and we're still together. We're still together.
It's like a sandwich over here. Look, I got my boyfriend and my future girlfriend. Hello, future girlfriend. How you doing?
I'm good. So
it's a chicken sandwich. Y'all like chicken sandwiches?
Yeah, we do.
Shit, I know I do.
Cool. All right. Yeah, that sounds good. All right. So it was 19 times within the span of like 5 days. So
no, it was like 2 or 3 months.
Oh, okay. I'm bad at math, but is that like
a lot of coming? Yeah, there was gallons, buckets of cum. I lived on it. For like 3 months.
He likes that chicken grease, you know.
Wow. Okay. Let me just talk to you for a second. Hold on, Andy. Hold on. So are you in love with like my fiance, Andy?
He's my boy. I love my boy. You know, I always got my bros. I always got their backs. Look, it wasn't 3, 2, 4, 5 months. But we've been talking. I'm making sure he's okay. I really just was in LA for like less than 1 week. I was there.
But did he make an impact on you? Like, are you?
I thought he was the coolest guy I like to hang out with. I was listening to your show, your interview, and is that Andy would be that type of guy that would like you could talk to forever, and when you're old, you two could conversate. That's how I felt with him. I mean, I love to conversate. I think it was just a very enlightening experience that I had. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, he is the most fun person to talk to. You're also good to talk to. You are easy to talk to. You're good at conversation. So that's what you liked about him. That's so interesting. I like the same thing about him. I'm just getting a caller. Kermit and Friends, just 1 second, Chicken. Kermit and Friends.
Hey, Lisa, it's Gonzo.
Hey, Gonzo.
Can Andy and Chicken define the word boy? Because I think they're using it 2 different ways. Like, Chicken is saying, like, boy, like, oh, that's my homeboy. And Andy's saying, oh, that's my boy. Like his boy.
He made him come 19 times, Gonzo. I think you're wrong. I think they're using it in the same way. Gonzo.
I do not think so.
You do not think so? All right, I'm going to ask him. Thank you, Gonzo. I love you. Okay, so Gonzo thinks that you're saying it. I don't believe that because...
Bring Andy in here. Bring Andy in here.
All right. He's right here.
See, he wants
Andy.
me.
Andy, see, I wanted you in here. Andy, you're my boy. I'm your boy. But we also established I'm not gay as well.
You're not gay. You're not gay.
I'm not gay.
You're just a guy that likes to come.
Oh my God, Chicken Andy's like frozen right now. But Andy, he seems actually a lot more into you than I thought. Wait, let's just let him refresh. I refresh your thing.
I'm
into
crying,
you.
baby. I'm
You're
crying because he's being so sweet.
He's being so sweet right now. I could see why you like him. And when he comes here, I'm excited for that trip.
He's really the sweetest guy ever. I love him. What happened to him? He probably just canceled.
No, he's right here. He's right here. I just wanted to ask you, when he comes here, what are you going to do with Chicken when he gets here?
Make him come another 19 times. What do you want me to do?
All right. We'll figure that part out.
You know what you want to do. We talked about having a threesome.
Okay,
You talked about it.
Let me just text Wheezy really fast because I don't see him.
Where is he?
Wheezy, I'm not sure.
I actually might drive out there in the RV to see him. How do you like that, baby?
I don't know. I don't know what I want right now, but I mean, he is fun and he has a great personality. I think we're going to the Magic Castle together and I'm happy for you. I love you. So if you love someone more than me, I'm fine with that.
Nope. I don't love anybody more than my baby. But can I come? You want to go out to lunch tonight after this?
Sure.
And
so
also the beach. The beach again, like yesterday.
You love me more than you love Chicken? That's what you're saying?
Of course. So
then why do you talk about Chicken?
I asked you to marry me, but you know what? I also asked him to marry me, actually. He hasn't answered yet.
Do you want to ask him right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. My internet's going out again.
No, don't give me that shit. Now.
I'm a bye.
Now, hang on a minute. I asked you to marry me, and you never did answer. Do you have an answer yet?
I don't want to take Elisa away from you.
I'll take that.
She's your current engaged, wedded, soon potential wife, and now you want me. Now, if you asked me as well, does that mean I would have to ask Elisa? So then it's a 3-way marriage.
Do they have that? Where all three of us are married now? All three of us are married to each other. Can we do that?
I think we could, honestly.
All right, let me meet Chicken first. I'm going to meet you. When am I going to meet you, Chicken?
Next week.
What day?
I swear to God, he's not allowed to stay there without me there. I swear to God.
Probably like Sunday, Saturday.
Saturday. Okay, so we're going to see Chicken on Saturday. We're going to go to the Magic Castle. Me and him.
Okay, where is he staying? Baby, where is he staying? Because I sort of, he's not, I'm telling you, I never make you do anything, but I'm doing it now. He can't stay with you.
But he might not have a place to stay, Andy. What if he has no place to stay?
It's not your fucking problem.
It'd be fucked up if he's on the show today and I don't let him stay at my place and he's going to just be on the street.
Then I'm going to be there too. Are you just some kind of whore just
Rejects it.
flipping around?
Andy, this is your boyfriend that I'm kind enough to let stay here.
I
And you're
don't
gonna
want
let me-
him to. If he stays there, I'm never talking to you again. I'm serious.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're looking straight.
Unless I'm there also. It's very simple.
All right, I'm very stressed right now. I think I need a prayer. Jimmy the Christian, can you please give me a prayer just for my situation?
Yeah, let's do a quick prayer for some relief from the chaos. How's that sound?
Thank you.
Okay, Father God, please step into Elisa's life at this point. Relieve some of the chaos. We love it when she has fun. Father God, you love it when she has fun too. We love that smile. We love to see her having fun, but please help her to sort out all of these different options. Help her to understand whether or not she should have Chicken Andy staying at her apartment. Help her to understand what the impacts might be to her relationship with Andy. Father God, just help her to have clarity in these situations. Help her to also have fun, to continue to have fun.
Thank you.
We ask all this in the name of your Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. I really needed that right now. That was so nice.
Yeah, but just for the record, I love it when you're happy too. I'm never jealous of any of this stuff. I'm with Charmin. I love it when you're happy. If you're happy, I'm happy.
That's because like you're a real friend. I find you to be a real friend. I don't find the people that are like coming out against me real friends. You know, they're just like haters, and I can't stand that.
He doesn't want to be, Leaf doesn't want to be seen as a hater. He wants to be seen as concerned about your well-being. But the way it comes across, does he love you or does he hate you? Does he respect you or does he not respect you? I mean, people said that the red flag document was some kind of hate-filled document. That wasn't a hate-filled document. That was his quotes. And then basically, well, what does he mean when he says this or that? What does he mean when he says, there's good fun versus bad fun? The other thing about Leaf, and you know this, I know you know this, Elisa. The other thing about Leaf is he's very sure that he is right. He has a moral superiority, which is one of the red flags. He feels he's morally superior to you. He feels he's morally superior to members of the audience. He feels like it's also called belief superiority. When he's lost sight of the fact that these are his opinions. These are not facts. These are his opinions, and he's lost sight of that. And there was just some really crazy hate-filled stuff. And he'll say, "Oh, I wasn't hating Elisa. I'm just simply caring for her." Well, it comes across really strangely. I mean, it comes across as certainly sort of unhinged, and it comes across as like.
And I can't help but say this, Jimmy. But if I were a man and I were going out with like, different women, I would be saluted and celebrated right now. But because I'm a woman, people are like slut shaming me, right, Charmin?
Yeah.
That's what's happening right now. I'm being slut shamed by my producer, the person that's supposed to have my back the most, is watching videos and slut shaming me and writing blogs about it. This is very wrong. You cannot hold people to a different standard just because of their sex.
And women's rights are being taken away. So the first thing they're going to do is lock down all of our fun. So you should have as much as you can while you can and encourage all the other women to have fun too. There is a problem with controlling women and their bodies and their behaviors and what they do and who they do it with. And there's a lot of attention being drawn to white women too. Right? For this is our first time having any kind of freedom. The way I heard it this year from Police of the God is white women were white men's first slave. We didn't even know we could have freedom until the Black people showed us. We've just now recently had, in the last 40 years, gotten bank accounts, the ability to work on our own, to get divorces, to own our own property, and to make our own decisions. And there are people who are mad about that, and they want to take those rights away from us. And we have to fight and hold on to them with everything that we have. It doesn't make sense that they're trying to control us the way they are. There are people who feel like they can control you and make you do what they think is appropriate for you. You are an autonomous person. You can make your own decisions with your own body. If you want to go and if you want to go and be in a relationship with two boyfriends, go have two boyfriends while you can before they take all your rights away and you can't make any decisions. We're living vicariously through you. We need to continue to be strong.
But Charmin, everybody should do this. Like if you're a woman and you're watching this program, you know, we've been like shit on for so long by so many guys fucking with us, saying, oh, you're the best woman I've ever met, but I don't want a relationship with you. You know what? Fuck you, because I have Chicken, I have Andy, and I have whoever I want. So I don't care what you think. I don't care what your little desires are, because I am going to have as much fun as possible. And I really don't care what you're doing. And that's what women should be like. They should not, you know, bow down to men. Oh, please be with me. Oh, please. Oh, no, I really want you to come over. No. It should not be like that anymore. We're going to switch it up on them and fuck with them the way they fucked with us. So if you're upset at what I'm doing, think about what you've done. Andy actually did this. Andy thinks he could be with Chicken and the people, everybody, whoever steps on that RV he could be with, right? Well, guess what? You know what? I'm going to show him how it feels, and he's not going to like it.
No, he's not.
So Chicken's going to stay right on that couch very comfortably and be very happy here. I have a lovely apartment with many fun things around here. We have restaurants, we have bars, and let's see how he likes it.
I'm sure he's not going to like it at all. I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about next Sunday on the show after a little bit of this.
I really want to write a book about this. I actually really want to write a book about this, Brian. Do you think this is a good thing to write a book about? If I married Andy, but then also I had like, you know, other people, and you know, I feel like it would be better than just being with one person. What do you think about that?
I think as a nonfiction book, that's definitely a tale. It's the truth is often stranger than fiction, and I think that's probably a sure thing.
Really? You think I could be on the New York Times bestseller list?
You know, a lot of times there's stuff that I don't know how it gets on the New York Times bestseller list, and I certainly don't see why that shouldn't get on there.
Thank you. Okay, I thought that was a good idea. All right, so Sean from the Howard Stern show. This is High Register Sean.
Shawnee.
Shawnee, you're from the Howard Stern show?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well,
well,
yes.
Welcome. Okay, so I'm excited that you're here. Do you have any thoughts on the situation with like Andy and Chicken and everything else?
There's definitely a lot going on here. I wasn't prepared for such a colorful show. It's really been interesting. I wanted to go back real quick before I forget about the guy that was doing the Randy Rhoads doc. What if? And I'm not saying this is true. But what if Ozzy was the reason they don't want it to come out if Ozzy was having relations with Randy himself? I mean, what if that was the case? That would be interesting.
Oh, you think that
I don't know. I'm just speculating.
You know, I mean, that could be too. But as far as I understand, Andre's a friend of mine. He told me that Sharon Osbourne was allegedly sleeping with Randy Rhoads. And that's why she didn't want the documentary out. I believe that story. It seems truthful. He's a very honest guy.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so many things could have been there, right? So we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna figure everything out. We're gonna be fine.
But as far with Andy and Chicken, Andy, why is there so many Andys in your life? That's interesting.
Well, and it's also
just all Andys.
And also, I have a dog named Chicken, so it's really like full circle right now.
Yeah, that's suspicious.
Yeah, it is. I'm just gonna go with the flow, like in my life. I'm not gonna really like push anything too hard, but I do want to stand tall and strong for people that are coming against me, like slut shaming me. Like my producer, Leaf King, like hates me right now and says I've changed. I have not changed. I just didn't have this opportunity yet. Okay, this doesn't happen every day. You don't have like 22-year-old. I don't have 22-year-old guys hitting me up all the time. Okay, so let me just enjoy it and be happy for me. Don't be like a hater. Like I just can't stand haters like that. So I have some questions for you from the fans. High Register Sean is a radio personality.
Shawnee, please. I don't really like that.
Oh, you don't like that? Okay, sorry. No. Sorry about that. I'm really sorry. Okay, so
please, thank you.
Shawnee is a radio personality most famous for being a part of the Howard Stern show. I was on the Howard Stern show too, where he had classic appearances, like when he taught Howard Stern about hunting dogmen and his verbal battles with John the Stutterer. How did you get on the Howard Stern show? Were you a caller, or how did you get on there at first?
I called back many years ago. I called about the original call was it was about when the guy said when he was calling the girls nappy headed hose. It was back in that time frame. What was the guy's name? Anyways. it was like in 2008, 2009. I called in, and then I was asking. Artie was going to Iraq for the USO tours, and I was asking about the camel spiders, because they have these gigantic spiders over there, and they're terrifying. They actually look like real life aliens. And so I asked him about them, and that's when they were like, what is this? You talk weird. What is it? And I just was trying to explain to them. So they had me on the show. Strangely, the first time I went in, I barely stuttered. So they were like, "What's going on with you? Like, you need to get mental help," which probably is true. But and then I've called in and been on some other various appearances as well. So
do you enjoy being on the show? Are they nice to you? Because there's a lot of rumors that Stuttering John hates Howard Stern. He talks so much shit on Howard Stern. What's your opinion on that, as opposed to how you were treated on the show?
Well, first of all, I was never an employee of the show. I mean, so as a guest, I don't get to see a lot of the background, a lot of the stuff that makes up the writers' meetings and the what goes on behind the scenes. So I am not a friend of the court, I don't think, anymore. Shuley was always very, very, very good to me. I love him. Great guy. Artie was wonderful. They've all treated me very, very nicely off air. On air, sometimes Howard overruns me and won't let me get my point out. So that gets a little frustrating, and I've yelled back at him about that. But it's not. I don't take it personally.
So like you weren't invited back. People get very upset by that, but I kind of understand it, because like I do this show, right? And even if I really love someone, like I don't really invite them back unless they reach out to me. Mm-hmm. So don't worry about that so much.
No. I don't think that's what I was. What I was trying to say is that when I've been on the air, Howard try to talk me. They've reached out to me since Shuley left, but it was that Mehmet guy. And yeah, I don't like him. He's very he's condescending and very phony feeling. Well, with me, yeah, I don't know. He doesn't like me, and it seems that way because it comes across plain as day. So then they tried to turf me off onto Wolfie, who hasn't really, we corresponded a bit, and then I don't know how Howard's brought me up on the air since then, but then nothing. So I don't know. I'm not worried about it either way. I'm still doing my research, and I'm still, fighting the good fight. So.
Yeah. So do you have like dreams of radio? Like, is there something that you haven't accomplished that you'd like to accomplish?
From a young age, I always wanted to be a comedy writer. I wanted to write for Saturday Night Live, or the remember Airplane, like those sort of slapstick films like that. I really liked that. I wrote some stuff, and I actually wrote a lot of things, and I've done some stand up. I haven't done much since the pandemic, but I'm actually starting to get back into writing jokes for that and stuff. I was trying to pitch some ideas to Tim Robinson from I think you should leave. You know that show?
I don't think so.
I think you should leave.
How do you pitch that? How do you pitch somebody like to get on a show like that?
That's the hard part, trying to reach out to them through either like through the agency, which generally that's a tough one. or trying to do it like, on social media, like, you know what I mean? It's all about who and trying to get their ear, and it's hard.
Yeah, but you have connections. Has any like famous celebrity reached out to you as a fan?
Oh yeah, I've talked with I text sometimes with Michael Rappaport. He and I are pretty friendly. When he comes up to do stand up or whatever up in New England, I've gone to a few of his shows and seen him and hung out with him. He's a really good dude. He's crazy, but he's a real good guy.
So Jimmy the Christian is speculating that you were banned. Yeah. Why are you speculating?
Banned?
Well, Shawnee, here's the deal. I used to be on the show all the time as Claire from New Jersey. And then, I had a little sort of falling out with Howard. You might have had some kind of falling out with Howard that you don't really realize. And the signs that you're banned are, Mehmet not sort of being responsive. He used to be really responsive to me all the time. And then once I was banned, I didn't believe I was banned. I didn't believe it, but it was true. And no matter how I called in, no matter when I called in, I was sort of persona non grata from the show. So,
well, Mehmet was pulling a like. He called me and then call me back at XYZ, and then I tried calling him back one time, and then he was sending me emails like demanding that I call him, and I just didn't like that. I didn't like the approach that he took with me. It wasn't so much that I pretty much told Gary I didn't want to deal with him. So
that's tough. And Gary, they put like the lower tier people to reach out. So Gary probably is reaching out to whoever, like celebrity, and then they have Mehmet and others reaching out to you. So that is tough. The way I view it, Shawnee, is don't worry too much about that. You can always create your own thing. I want to make it clear that I'm not worried in the least. This is not. I don't lose any sleep about not being on the air with him or anything like that. I mean, it was actually getting pretty frustrating for me whenever I would discuss topics, and he would just try to over talk me. He was almost pulling a John the Stutterer, interrupting me while I'm trying to get out points and facts that he just didn't like what I was saying. I think is what ended up being. I mean, there's no hard feelings from my side. Oh, that's wonderful. You have such a great attitude. What are you working on now? What should people check out that you have going on?
Well, I've been working on some stand up stuff. So I'm gonna start getting back out into the stand up arena. Pretty much in the New England area to start, because it's the closest to me. So and then hopefully it takes off from there, and we'll get. Maybe I'll be doing some shows down the street from you soon enough,
That would be great. I'll take my new boyfriend, Chicken Andy.
I'm on Twitter at Not High Register if anyone wants to find me there.
Okay, great. So Not High Register on Twitter?
Correct.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shawnee. Okay, Kenneth, we're going to wrap it up, okay? We're going to the wrap-up show after this. With Wheezy and Charmin and all our friends here. Maybe Chicken Andy will go. Kay Jobs, she's here too. All our favorite people.
Hi.
So Kay.
I look like shit.
What?
I look like shit. Sorry.
That's okay. So Kay, do you have an opinion on what went on today with Chicken and Andy? I mean, Andy's in love with Chicken. He says he's in love with me. Everybody's kind of like intermingled here. Do you believe Yeah.
I think it's funny how he says he's not gay. I mean, I fully believe that he's not gay, and I find it funny that Andy's kind of like so sad that he's not gay. He's disturbed by like, why can't he be gay? Like, God.
Well, do you think he could convince him to be gay? Because that's what I think he's trying to do.
No, sorry, Andy. But so I just want to say thank you so much for always bringing me up. It makes me feel so special for bringing me up on the show. Like when you're on camera. So thank you for always bringing me up.
Well, you're a very special person, Kay, and I really value your opinion so much.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just love what Charmin was saying today. I felt very empowered when she was speaking. Do you get that feeling when Charmin speaks that it's like, wow, you just want to follow what she says to do? And I feel like she,
I respect her, I want to get to know her because I feel like I have to understand her better to understand how she talks. Because I don't really understand the way she communicates.
you didn't understand what she was saying today about like female empowerment, like, you know, all these men, they get celebrated when they're with a lot of women, and I can't even go out to a bar with a couple guys out being like destroyed in a blog.
I don't really. I mean, personally, I guess I've been a social retard for the past 6 years, so I haven't really experienced that lately. But I haven't experienced social media like that. But I made the comment, like, basically, I've understand that women, we've been trained since the crib to get married and pop out babies. So, like, you know, little baby girls are carrying around baby dolls, and when they're 2 years old, they're like, let's have a baby already. So that's a problem. That's the woman problem we're having.
Do you feel, hold on 1 second, Kate, just stay right there. I'm getting a caller. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you? Kermit and Friends. Jordan, I know you're there. Just say something.
Oh, are you talking to me? I'm sorry.
Yes. Hi, Jordan. Thanks for calling into Kermit and Friends.
You look like my older sister, baby.
Thank you.
Remind me of my older sister. I love you. I want to hug you.
All right, so you are a very good caller. I like you a lot. You're coming into town.
Am I on call right now?
What?
Am I on call right now?
Yes, you're on Kermit and Friends, which is my podcast.
Am I like a nurse? I'm on call? Don't call in, guys, if you get hurt, because I'm not a registered nurse.
Okay, so
I'm
she's
just a CNA. I wipe asses. That's it.
okay. All right, so you are, you know, you live far away. You're coming here. You know, what inspired you to come to California to come visit? Like, who are you visiting in particular?
That's a beautiful question. Who do I really want to visit? I'll be honest here. I want to visit Andy Dick, you, Captain Content, and Lala.
What about Chicken? You don't want to visit Chicken? You don't want to visit Chicken at all?
Chicken seems cool. I honestly haven't checked out enough of his streams, but yeah, I'm sure he's like a cool guy.
And what are you gonna do when you get here? Like, what's the plan?
I'm just gonna like drink and take as many drugs as I possibly can withhold in my body.
Okay. And do you take a lot of drugs? Like, do you do that all the time, or is that special for us?
I don't do drugs at all.
You don't do drugs, but you want to do drugs with me for some reason?
Yes, I do. I want to.
Wait, you dropped off, Jordan. You dropped off.
I want.
Oh, there you are.
Ecstasy. I want to do cocaine.
Wow. So you want to be really wild here in California, it sounds like. You do?
Woo! Yes. I'm going to go streaking down the boulevard.
Wow. You really are? I mean, that's going to be really wild. You're going to get a lot of attention here, Jordan. I don't know if you're going to want to do that. That could be dangerous.
Streaking down the boulevard. I know. I probably will wake up in the hospital like Elaine, but it'll be worth it.
All right, so you're going to be naked on Hollywood Boulevard. You're going to be doing all kinds of drugs. You're going to be hanging out with me and Andy. I mean, I'm worried for you, Jordan. I don't know if that's a safe thing to do or not.
What the fuck? You only live once, right? I could die tomorrow, for all we know.
Yeah, and do you want to Jordan? Do you want to like hook up with anybody when you're here? Do you have a love interest?
Like have sex? I mean, I get horny. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but do you have anybody in mind?
I would make out with people. I don't know. I heard a lot of STDs are going around the place, so I don't.
Come on, Jordan. I heard you on your call. That is not what you said on the last call.
I gotta be careful. If we have condoms flowing, yes, I will fuck every fucking hole on that RV.
All right, we're looking forward to that. Thanks for calling in, Jordan. You're the best.
Woo! Love you.
Love you. Wow, what a woman. I love this girl. She's the best thing since like Jenna Jameson, in my opinion.
Yeah. Can I say something? Because I really wanted to say something to everybody. Did you mention? Did I catch you mentioning at the beginning of the podcast that a lot of people are joining in today and watching today?
Yeah. I broadcast from so many channels. It's hard to know how many people are watching. But why do you say that?
Because I really want to talk about your interview with Chrissy Meyer, because I watched that because I was nervous about my first interview with you. I was nervous, like I felt like it didn't go well, and so I felt like you didn't like me, and so I hope I'm not hitting you. But in your interview, somebody told me that you really loved me, and I was so surprised because I have a very bad self-confidence, and so when you said that about. So if you're listening to this right now, this woman is like so amazing. I had a couple of points in the interview with Chrissy Meyer. And it's like she totally like talks about who she is as a soul, and like and like she talks about she likes to help the people who are like me, who are struggling, and like me, who actually need the help and not trying to be famous just to be famous. And so she actually changed my life. She helped me out. And so anyway, so I haven't slept in 2 days, so I'm kind of freaking out. But so anyways, so I made a tweet. I put it in the comments. So I'm K-Jobs away found, and so you should really check out Chrissy Meyer interview. She talks about it. It's really beautiful. This woman should be above Oprah right now because this woman can do amazing things and change the world, and she should be doing things for the world. So that's just kind of what I want to say. Sorry if I embarrassed you, Lisa.
That's okay. You're the best. I really love you and I appreciate you so much. You ready to hear a song?
Sure.
Okay, let's pull up Wappy Flanker.
West Coast vibes, people chilling, getting high. Venice Beach on the streets, I'ma get mine. A couple $100 million, I'm a goddamn mine. We've been getting by, we got lit vibes. We've been searching for a better life. Palm tree, smoking palm tree. Summertime, living lovely. Old town on a new beat. Getting lit in the hills of my town, yeah, it's lovely. I'm making money. Palm tree, smoking palm tree. Summertime, living lovely. Old town on a new beat. Getting lit in the hills of my town, yeah, it's lovely. I'm making money. Blessed up life, we've been chilling, getting high. Hollywood in the hills, I'ma get mine. A couple $100 million, I'm a goddamn mine. We've been getting by, we got lit vibes. We've been searching for a better life. Palm tree, smoking palm tree. Summertime, living lovely. Old town on a new beat. Getting lit in the hills of my town, yeah, it's lovely. I'm making money. Palm tree, smoking palm tree. Summertime, living lovely. Old town on a new beat. Getting lit in the hills of my town, yeah, it's lovely. I'm making money. Palm tree, smoking palm tree. Summertime, living lovely. Old town on a new beat. Getting lit in the hills of my town, yeah, it's lovely. I'm making money. Palm tree, smoking palm tree. Summertime, living lovely. Old town on a new beat. Getting lit in the hills of my town, yeah, it's lovely. I'm making money.
Nice. What else do you want? Do you want a massage?
Yeah, sure.
Nice. Little drink? Some room service too? Would that be nice?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Good.
Let me just call the Four Seasons, Sandy.
How about why don't you just leave me alone? Let me have some privacy. How about that? I never get that.
Definitely. Do you want me to? Do you want me to leave for a couple of days and you can just stay here, lounge in the RV, and I'll just sleep on the streets for a couple of days?
Go to my fiance's place.
I'll just find. I'll just.
Go down on her for 2 days.
I'll go under a bridge or something. You can stay here. Don't worry, Andy.
Go down on Elisa Jordana's cunt for 2 days.
Yeah. Well, you suck on Chicken Andy's dick.
Love that cunt. You went down. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a slut she is. And that you're not the only one.
That's mint of you talking about other people being sluts. You're the one to talk about people being sluts when you're jerking everybody's dick while you're engaged to this woman. You're one to talk about a horse when you're the one fucking rubbing everybody's cocks. Yes, you are. You're one to talk about your fiance, my fiance. Like you have any rights? Like you have any rights to your fiance when you're not even sexually into her?
You know what? Well, she's not gonna answer. It's too late. But we'll call her tomorrow, and I'll say, hey. He wants to go down on you again. I guarantee you she won't want to, number one.
That's perfect with me, Andy. You're the one that's obsessed about it. You're the one talking about it. I don't even want to talk about me going.
You should have made her come.
Perfect.
You're a fucking weirdo.
I don't give a fuck, Andy. I just rather you shut the fuck up and just got the fuck out of my RV and just disappeared out of my fucking life and I could sleep in peace tonight and maybe forever without having to hear your whiny ass fucking voice complaining about how the world is not serving my sorry homeless ass 24/7 because I'm fucking entitled to everything I want and everybody's supposed to be my little fucking slave because I'm motherfucking Andy Dick. So why don't you go sleep under a fucking bridge so I can just go to my bed and don't have to fucking listen to your whiny sorry ass another day of my fucking life. Okay. Sounds perfect. You know, that would make me very happy.
We'll do that.
Okay. I'm waiting.
Well, wait till tomorrow. I need to get a good night's sleep.
Okay. I'll give you that because you're my buddy.
Welcome everyone to Sycophant RV TV.
Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
You're talking to me?
You're done, bitch. If I see you, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass with a baseball bat. You hear me? You don't know who you're fucking with. You're fucking the wrong motherfucker, bitch. I'll never stop fucking you now.
Oh my God. All right, Andy, I'm about to end the show. Is there anything else you guys want to say?
That wasn't me.
You're fucked up big time, bitch.
Baby, that was
going down.
That's your boy. That wasn't me. What's his fuck face? Pretending to be me.
No, that's not fair.
You guys aren't mad, right?
What would I be mad at?
No, we're devising the perfect plan to ruin Elisa.
No.
It's gonna be cold. Very cold. You won't even.
Sounds like he's mad, but I'm not mad, baby.
You're not mad that I had chicken on the show today, right?
Of course not. I fucking love it.
What do you mean you're not mad? You were spending in never.
You're not allowed to sleep there. Oh, I did hear you say that you're going to let him sleep on your couch. Then I'm not gonna be mad. I'm just never gonna see you again. Ever.
All right, Andy, I'm ending the show right now. I'll talk to you later. Okay, I love you.
Yeah, I love you too, but I'm gonna leave if you come. If it stays with you.
All right. I'll consider that. Thank you. All right, bye. That was Andy. All right. Everybody's fine. Everybody's fine. We're gonna end this show. Let's promote Chicken Andy's YouTube channel. That sounds like, oh, here's Chicken Andy. Okay, yeah, Chicken Andy. What's your YouTube channel so people can add you and look at your videos, see what you're up to. Wait, you're muted though. I can't hear you. There you go.
Chicken Andy on YouTube. You could also find me at Scuffed Anakin on Instagram and Twitter. I think there's a lot to keep going for this show today, but I don't know
You
why
could be
you
on the
want
wrap-up show. Wait, Chicken, do you want to be on the wrap-up show with Wheezy? It'd be fun. You could talk more.
Yeah, I would love to be on the wrap-up show.
Perfect. Okay, great.
Wrong mic. Sorry.
That's okay. Look how cute Chicken Andy is. Okay, so Chicken Andy is going to be on the wrap-up show. I have this guy. Are you going to be on the wrap-up show too? That's an interesting outfit.
Yeah. I'd like to announce I'm running for president. My goal is to make Kermit and Friends good again, or great again, to be someplace people want to be and want to hang out. I am Donald Trump, and I want Charmin to be my running mate.
All right, that sounds like a great plan. You're gonna join the wrap-up show with Chicken and Wheezy.
Oh,
and
yes,
Jay
yes.
and Andy
I love
Dick.
Wheezy. I'll be over there with Wheezy. He's a great dude.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we have all kinds of people here, you guys. I mean, there's no doubt about that. We have all kinds of people. We try to include everybody. Kenneth, we didn't get to talk to you that much today, but I love you. Are you happy with the show? Do you like Chicken Andy? What about the author? Yeah.
I enjoyed the show. I was just trying to keep quiet and enjoy the show, but so far I have enjoyed it.
Well, it's ending now. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hey, Lisa, it's Gonzo. While you have Kenneth up, is he gonna actually acknowledge my Kermitarian of the Week award, or?
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was just about to
thank
get
you,
to
Gonzo.
that.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
I was just about to get to that.
So let me do a
I
little
would like
background
to.
story.
I would like to add Gonzo's name to the KOTW alongside Chicken Andy, if that's okay.
So Gonzo is Kermitarian of the Week, right? Right now?
I'm making it official right now. I want to add him along with Chicken Andy.
Okay, and this is why he's Kermitarian of the Week. Wait, let me see if I can play this. Gonzo. Okay, this is why.
Oh, I'm a Kermitarian. I want this. Oh, I'm a Kermitarian. I'm the best that there's ever been, 'cause I'm a Kermitarian. I'll be here until the end. I wanna be Kermitarian of the Week so fucking bad I cannot sleep. Kenneth, why don't you choose me? You're driving me so fucking crazy, 'cause I'm a Kermitarian. I'll be here until the end, 'cause I'm a Kermitarian, and I'm the best that there's ever been. You better fucking pick me, Kenneth.
So yeah, I love that song. I think it's excellent. Gonzo totally deserved Kermitarian of the Week, but he felt overshadowed by other things. He didn't get like the recognition that he wanted.
I wanna give him that recognition. That's why I wanna give him his proper time in the sun.
Okay, so
That's
what do
why
you have? Can you give a speech about how great Gonzo is?
I feel as though he deserves it. He's been a loyal supporter of KAF. So, and like I said, I didn't feel as though I gave him his proper time in the sun. So I want to make sure I give him his time in the sun.
But what do you like about Gonzo? What do you like?
He's always he's loyal to KAF. That's one of the main things that I like most about him.
All right, he's not going to like this speech. I could just tell you right now, he's not going to like it. I think Gonzo deserves more, but let's ask the people what they think. Let's ask Wheezy. Gonzo deserves a lot more than the speech. This is like not a good speech about Gonzo. I would say.
Kenneth was a little bit, I don't want to say rude, but he was a little bit dismissive of Gonzo all week. So I don't know if he's qualified to give the speech, but I will say it. Gonzo is amazing. He's funny. He's one of the best callers ever. He deserves it this week because last week he kind of got shit on.
Yeah,
and he's just like, I think he's one of the best Stern callers of all time. And he does a lot for this community. He's wonderful. He's funny. He's amazing. And he's a great guitar player and singer.
He is so talented. I would say he's the best person I've ever heard on Howard Stern. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't care if it's a guest. I don't care if it's a caller. And he's graced us with his presence here. I mean, I was dating him like 7 years ago. And usually those people never talk to me again. And he's still here.
Yes.
Contributing.
He's a force. He's a force. He's not only here, he's a great force.
He's so special. He's different. He's unique. He's unbelievably talented. I don't know. I there's a lot I could say about Gonzo. I mean, when
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel went after me, guess who called me? Gonzo.
Yeah.
Gonzo called me. He said, "Are you okay?"
Oh,
He asked me if I was okay. And
that was very sweet of him. And he's so
Yeah.
sweet to everybody.
I
He's
will
so
not
sweet to
forget that.
Kenneth even. He's very sweet to Kenneth even, which was very confusing to why he wasn't so supportive. But Kenneth does have an army, and that's very important for Kenneth to have too. So
yeah, you don't really like Kenneth right now, it seems like.
I am leading a new basically I have a club that's anti-Kenneth right now because his behavior has been pretty bad. Yeah,
You
I have a
started
club.
that club?
Yes, I am
Oh, no.
I'm the leader of that club. Tammy is in the club, Joey, Sonia, Ash, Jay. Our members are rising fast. And we just want Kenneth to be honest, and we want him to be nice, and we want him to pay attention to not just you and the other pretty girls. We want him to pay attention to the people that have been supporting him for months. And that's our mission in the club, is to get him to notice us again, recognize us. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's been a rascal.
Because Kermit and Friends is not about me, right?
Mhm.
It's about everybody else. Like the Muppets, like Muppets Take Manhattan. And Muppets Take Manhattan, they said, what is missing from the show? What is missing? It's you that's missing. We need you, the people of, the Kermit and Friends universe, to join our show, come visit us, hang out with us, be a part of everything. And that way you can make friends. You'll never be alone again. You will not be depressed, because you can always join us on our Kermit and Friends Discord server every day, and join us Sunday for Kermit and Friends, for the main show, for the wrap-up show. We promise to be there for you, and you'll never be alone again. So I'll see you next week. I hope everybody had fun today, and enjoy another song by Wappy Flanker.
I've been spending time underwater, and I can't see the light from here. I've been blind for all this time, Cut me off, left alone, paranoid, no one to lead me home. Scared to death, I might just use the road. I'm losing hope, I need to go. I've been spending time barely breathing, and I can't find the time to catch my breath. It seems as though the time has come, the time. Cut me off, left alone, paranoid, no one to lead me home. Scared to death, I might just use the road. I'm losing hope, I need to go. Cut me off, left alone, paranoid, no one to lead me home. Scared to death, I might just use the road. I'm losing hope, I need to go. Thank you so much, everyone. We will see you on the wrap-up show, and we'll see you next week on Kermit